Let's read. Somebody read. 3 verse 10.
John chapter 3 verse 10.
Yes.
Jesus answered.
And
said to him.
Are
you the teacher of Israel?
Are you the teacher of the law?
And do not know these things?
Do not you know these things that I'm talking about now?
Most assuredly. I say to you.
And I'm saying to you.
We speak what we know.
Look at me, all of you. I speak what I know. I want to put a line here. I want to build a line in between. Jesus is saying, I speak what I know. And I'm standing here and I'm saying to you, I speak what I know. Amen. There's a difference between speaking what you have heard and speaking what you know. There's a difference between speaking what you are assuming and what it is reality. I speak what I know. Jesus is saying, you speak as a teacher of law what you have heard, but I speak what I have seen. I speak what I know. I am cocksure of what I am saying. Continue.
And testify what we have seen.
And testify of what I have seen.
And you do not receive our witness.
And you don't receive our witness.
If I have told you earthly things.
If I have told you earthly things.
And you do not believe.
And you do not believe.
How will you believe if I tell you heavenly things?
How are you going to believe when I tell you the heavenly things?
No one has ascended.
No one has gone to heaven.
But ye who have come down from heaven.
But the one who is speaking. That is the one who went to heaven.
Amen.
I know this is too much for you. And I know this, it needs divine interpretation.
Amen.
Jesus is saying, you are the teacher of the law. Look at me, all of you. Jesus is speaking to a pastor. Jesus is speaking to a prophet. Jesus is speaking to an apostle. Jesus is speaking to a bishop. He said, Nicodemus, you are the bishop of the church. The things that I'm talking about, you're supposed to know. But Nicodemus, you know nothing. And Jesus is saying, I speak of what I know. And I speak of what I have heard. And I speak of what I have seen. I want to challenge the church today.
Amen.
I want to challenge you today. According to the book of Isaiah chapter 8, I and the children that God has given me, we are made out of signs and wonders. Yes. And I and my children, we are resurrecting and we are moving out of old practices. We are moving out of our nature, out of our understanding, out of our culture, out of our practices. And we are entering into the world of reality where we are going to speak, not just for speaking, but we are going to speak because I can see. I'm in the other side as we were singing. As I was explaining the two groups. Seeing the other group that it is singing, approaching us. And we are singing, approaching them. They are also approaching us. And I want us right now to cross over beyond so that we can understand that language. So that we can hear them when they are speaking. So that we can speak the same language. We can have the same understanding. We are speaking of what we have heard. We are speaking of what we have seen. And the Bible says, no eye has seen, no ear has heard what God has in store for the ones that loves Him. Amen. And I want us to transit. I want us to move. We are moving out of the world where we are living in into the world where we will be able to hear the revelations, divine revelations of God. Amen. Hey. Blessed the name of Jesus. Amen. God is good. And all the time, He's a good God. And Jesus is saying, okay, now, let me speak about the earthly things. Even when I speak about earthly things, you won't understand me. Now, how are you going to understand the heavenly things if you don't understand the earthly things? Close your eyes. Lift up your right hand. I want to pray for you. Father, in the name of Jesus, I release him. I release her. I open his eyes. I open her eyes. I open him up. I open her up with power and anointing of the Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Now look at me. What do you know? What you know, Nicodemus, is just 1% about the kingdom of God. You are the teacher, you are the preacher, you are the pastor. But the thing that you know about the things of God is only 1%. And right now, Nicodemus, I want to open you up. You know the law. You are a full-trained somebody. You are qualified. Amen. You've been born again. You are born again long time ago. You look like you know everything. But Nicodemus, what you're having is only 1%. Yeah. And I will open your eyes to see and to understand. Because I'm going to speak of what I know and what I have seen and what I have heard. Number one, Nicodemus, for you to enter into the kingdom of God is not to recite the law. You need to be born again. And the Bible says, after Jesus said that Nicodemus, he was shattered. He was lost completely. Now what do you mean when you're saying to be born again? How do I get born again? I'm talking about a pastor. Now look at me. To be a pastor doesn't mean that you know it all. That's the reason why there are many mistakes that is happening in that area. How do I get born again? I want to do what you're saying, but how do I get born again? And Nicodemus is saying, do I have to go into my mother's womb so that I can be born again? And Jesus, he said, no, you don't understand what I'm saying. But I'll open your eyes to see. Your eyes will see. Amen and amen. Amen. Look at the person next to you. Tell the person, your eyes will see.
Your eyes will see.
Now, look at me, all of you. I'm asking one thing from you. One thing from you. Because if you don't do that, you'll be left behind. You will chase something that you will never understand. You will run after something that is going to confuse you continuously. One thing for sure that I want from you is open up to God. Open up for God to speak afresh in your life. Amen. The problem we're having as a church is we all know Him. Yeah. We know everything. But yet we are far away from the truth. And God wants to open your life so that you can begin to see. And I declare your eyes will see. In the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. Bless the name of Jesus. God is good. And all the time, He's a good God and He's a wonderful God. I want to speak about the earthly things. I want to speak about earthly things. Earthly things of something that I have a concrete results of it. That I have seen, and some of you have seen it. You have touched it, you have tested it. And I want also to speak about the spiritual things. Earthly things. And the earthly things that I want to talk about is coming from chapter 2. Okay, let's be gentle here. Let's be honest. How many people want to born again? If you have not received Christ as your personal Savior, I want you to be genuine to yourself. I want you to be honest with you. Don't worry about the people next to you. I don't want to pray for you. If you have not yet accepted Jesus as your personal Savior, you are not born again. You are not washed by the blood of Jesus. I want you just to lift up be honest with yourself. Don't worry about the people who are doing. I want you to lift up your hand, your right hand. If you are not born again, you are not washed by the blood, you don't understand this thing. I want you to lift up your hand. Just be genuine to yourself. Lift up your right hand. Your right hand. We're born again, all of us here. Okay, I'm seeing only one hand. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. The earthly things, the heavenly things. I want to speak about the earthly things. In chapter 2 is about the wedding. The Bible says Jesus was called for a wedding. He was invited for the wedding. His mother was there. His disciples also were invited. I've tried to understand this passage. Who invited Jesus who is not coming out clearly? Who is not known? Who is this person? And I discovered that the reason why Jesus was there and his disciples and his mother was there is because this was a family wedding. A relative was getting married. And that's the reason why you see his mother, Mary, is busy in organizing. She's part of the organizers. It's part of the family. We are going to read. And we are reading. Let's read. Chapter 2, verse 7. Remember where we're coming from. The Bible says we speak of things that we know. Amen. We have seen. We have heard. We are sure of it. Read. Something's about to happen in this book. 2 verse 7.
John chapter 2 verse 7.
Yes.
Jesus said to them,
fill
the water pot with water.
Fill the water pot with water.
And they filled them up to the brim.
And they filled it to the brim.
And he said to them, draw some out now.
Draw some out now.
And take it to the master of the feast.
Take it to the master of the feast.
And they took it.
They did exactly what he said.
When the master of the feast had tested the water,
yes,
that was made of wine,
yes,
and did not know when it came from, the master of the feast called bridegroom,
yes,
and said to him, every man at the beginning set out the good wine.
Yes, Lord.
And when the guests have well drunk,
yes, Lord,
then the inferior, you have kept them good wine until now.
You have kept the good wine until now. Now earthly things, look at me, all of you. We are going to a place where they are producing wine, earthly things. Remember the Bible says, if I tell you about earthly things, you don't understand also. How about when I speak to you about the heavenly things? If you don't understand the earthly things, how are you going to understand the heavenly things? And we are going right now to the earthly things. A bottle of wine. Many of us will have touched wine. Some of us will be drinking. And some of you are still drinking. You need grace of God. When I walked in here, one young man, he said to me, I looked at you for some times. Please help me. I need a change in my life. I've been living this life. I've been messing up with my life. But I need your Jesus. When I walk into this place, when I park the car, when I walk out, this young man came in and said that to me. I need this change. I need this Jesus. Blessed be the name of Jesus. Every place. A bottle of wine. And after this, something really is going to happen to your life. I want you to prepare your mind and be ready for Christ. Because bigger things are about to happen to you. Amen. Amen. Now, we are going into the warehouse of producing a wine. What is happening there? We are talking about earthly things. Somebody is designing or producing a wine. And we are standing, let's all of us mentally, let's just walk into the warehouse. And there are the workers, there are people who are producing wine. What are the ingredients that they are using? And for how long does it take for what they're doing to turn to be a wine? Number one, the ingredient that they are using is potassium. Potassium sulfate or potassium. The function of this chemical to be used is to prevent bacteria. That's number one. And number two is to prevent the yeast not to be spoiled. And we are in the warehouse right now. We are here to produce wine. Okay. I wanted the wine, but I can say I can appetize many of you. Many of you, somehow we can remember where you're coming from. Do we have our juice for Holy Communion? Can I have a bottle? That bottle for Holy Communion. And number 2, they are using calcium. Now, what's the importance of calcium? Carbonate. The importance of calcium carbonate is to reduce acid. That's the importance of calcium carbonate. To reduce the acidity of the final product. And the third ingredient they're using is sulfur dioxide. The function of sulfur is to prevent oxidation during the wine making process. Okay. Hello? Are you still here?
Amen.
Sure.
Amen.
Beautiful. Yeah. We are talking about earthly things.
Amen.
Jesus is saying, if I speak earthly things and you don't understand it, now how are you going to understand a spiritual matters? When I tend to speak, when I switch off from earthly things and speak about spiritual things, how are you going to understand? Look at the person next to you. Tell that person, something is happening here.
Something is happening here.
Blessed the name of Jesus. Amen. God is good. And all the time. God is good. He's a good God. And the fourth ingredient that they're using is sugar. Now, why are they using sugar? Number 1 is to help to boost alcohol content in their product. They are helping this wine to increase the amount of alcohol in it. And the fifth ingredient that they're using is grape juice concentrate. What's the importance of grape juice concentrate? Number 1 is also to give a color. I'm talking about earthly things.
Amen.
The color for this juice to have this color is a result of grape juice content. It is helping to change the color to look the way it is. Blessed be the name of Jesus.
Amen.
You are going to school here.
Yeah. Amen.
You are going to school here. And it will be qualified in no time.
Amen.
Blessed be the name of Jesus.
Amen.
And the other reason why they're also adding grape juice concentrate is for a better taste. And the taste I'm talking about, they call it velvety taste. This is changing the color. This is bringing a taste, not just a taste, but velvety taste. That is making the wine to taste sweet. Reason why this man is saying, you have kept a sweet wine up to this far. What was behind that? It was the velvety taste that made him to say it loud. That, hey, this wine is tasty, it's very nice compared to the first one that they've given us. It's because of the grape juice concentrate. And number 6, the ingredients that they are using is water. Now, why water? To bring down high alcohol level. If they don't put water, alcohol in the very same wine, it will be beyond the measures. The reason why they bring water is to subsidize, to bring down the amount of alcohol in the wine. Blessed be the name of Jesus.
Amen.
And they are adding also ingredients called flavors. Now, why adding that? To balance other storm of certain spices, because there are spices that are used also in producing wine. And the last one is the yeast. They're using the yeast. What's the importance of yeast? Women, they understand yeast very well. The purpose of yeast is to convert sugar into alcohol. For the sugar to turn into alcohol, there must be yeast in between. And at the end of the day, then we are going to have wine. When all these things, these ingredients are brought together, and then what we're going to have is a wine. Now, after having this wine is not yet matured for people to use it. After all these ingredients, bring all these ingredients together, for a wine to begin to taste well, or for the wine to have a sweet and a good taste, it must stay a wine. Minimum. For a wine to have a good taste, minimum is a month. After producing the wine, it must stay for a period of a month. For it to have a taste. I want somebody who's listening to, please shake the person next to you. Let everybody be awake, because we are going somewhere. Amen. This is very important. There's a place where we are going. Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Blessed be the name of Jesus. Amen. Minimum is a month. And for the wine to show a character, for a wine to show a character, it must stay for a period of 3 months. Just to show a character. A very expensive wine in this world is a wine that has stayed for so many years. The more a wine can stay, the more the wine can be kept. Such a wine is gaining more value than before. Blessed be the name of Jesus. Amen. When a factory is doing a white wine, it's recommended that that wine must stay for a period of 6 months before it can be saved to the people. Blessed be the name of Jesus. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. And lastly, wines differ according to the colors. There is a white wine. Amen. There is a red wine. Amen. In this red wine, there is something that is very vital. Amen. There is a dark red wine. That is the most valuable wine. Dark red wine. Why is like that? It is because of the ingredients, number one. Number two, because of the amount of time it has been kept. That red wine is one of the best wine, sweet wine. When I speak about earthly things, you don't understand. How about speak about the heavenly things? Are you going to understand? Jesus is challenging them. What I was saying here is an earthly things. Chapter 2 is speaking about wine. In other words, according to the earthly process, for Jesus to produce wine, that wine to be sweet according to the master of ceremony, it's supposed to stay more than 6 months.
Amen.
It's supposed to stay more than a year for the master of ceremony to say, this is a sweet wine. This is an earthly process. For it to be best, it's supposed to stay more than 6 months. More than a year. And this time I want us to speak about the heavenly system. This is the earthly system. And I want us to speak about the heavenly system. Heavenly system and earthly system is different. Earthly system, for things to materialize, it must take sufficient time. It must go through a process for things to mature. But heavenly system is determined by the power behind. It is determined by the grace behind.
Amen.
Earthly system, it needs ingredients.
All right.
Heavenly system does not need ingredients. Just a water without ingredients, it turns into something else. Oh, Jesus.
Amen.
Blessed be the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Blessed be the name of Jesus. God is changing something in your life.
Amen.
You will never be the same again.
Amen.
He stood and he said, guys, fill the jars. And the Bible says each jar, it was amount to 100 liters. One jar, it was equal to 100 liters. 100 liters is the amount of water. Declared couple some months ago in South Africa, 100 liters is the amount of water that it has to be used by one person in Cape Town. During the time when it was declared that the country is suffering the issue of water, it was declared that one person must use at least 100 liters amount of water in a day. Now, why this just? Why 6 jars? Why 5 jars? Now, Jesus wants to prove a point here. Because if it was 1 liter, you are going to say it's a coincidence.
Yeah.
If it is 5 liters, you will say, even my father can do it.
Yeah.
But this time, Jesus is saying, I don't want 2 liters.
Yeah.
I want multiplied 100 liters.
Amen.
Put the 100 liters, fill it with water.
Yeah.
I'm going to change not 100 liter, but all of them. 100 liters, they are going to change from water into wine to prove that this is going to be safe. miracle now and then. You can organize thousands and thousands of people. I can't say, Jesus is saying, in other words, he's saying, I'm able to change not just 100 liters gallon. I can also change the whole river I can to be wine. This is not a mistake. It's something that is in my system. I do what I see. I do what I have heard. I do what I know.
Amen.
Bless the name of Jesus. I am in power. I'm able to unlock the locked doors. I'm able to change the unchangeable situations. Bless the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And he's saying, fill all of them to the brim, to the fullest. And he declared, it is hard, not loud. Now, the difference between the world system is the world system has got its own process. And for everything to happen, you need to apply all the ingredients. But now the divine system, it does not need your ingredients. It does not even need time. The earthly system for you to produce at least a minimum time is 1 month. Now it means in that wedding when the one was finished, they're supposed to stay for the whole month for them to have wine. But Jesus stepped forward and he said, I'm going to convert the whole month into what? Into a second. I'm going to convert a year into a second. I'm going to compress. I'm going to bring down the time. Bless the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. I'm not going to take long as it's supposed to be. I'm not going to take you according to the earthly process. But I'm going to take you with divine process. Divine process. I will just click my hand. Immediately to come to pass. Bless the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. According to the system of this world, according to the system of the wine that you were drinking, it took about 6 months.
Jesus.
I'm not going to change this wine. Water to wine in 6 hours. But just a click of the hand, it will just change everything. Amen. And the Bible says, he said to the boys who fill the jars to the brim, he said to the boys, now I will confuse you. If I will say to you, fetch the wine to the master of ceremony. According to what you have seen is the language I'm going to use. They're not hearing that. You know, God does not speak for speaking. He is speaking according to your standard. According to your level. That's how God operates. And he's saying to these young boys, he can see they are not yet mature. Because if he will say to them, fetch this wine and go and keep the master of ceremony, they will run out of the place going around looking for wine. And he's saying to them, you are still young, fetch the water. Fetch the water. Hey, God wants to speak to many of us here, but we are not yet mature to differentiate between the water that is turned to wine and the water that is still water. He wants to speak to us to this level. He wants to show us even the ingredients, the heavenly ingredients. But we are not yet mature to keep these secrets. Hey. Your answer is just in your hands, but you are immature to see your answers. You are still young to speak about your answers. You are too young to understand the change in the spirit.
Amen.
Like I can see this young man. He's carrying the jug of wine. But in his heart, in his mind, he's saying, I'm going to give this man this water. I'm going to give this man this water. And as he's moving, there is no change in him, in his eyes. He can't see. Let me talk to somebody today. You know, God has released you completely long time ago. But you can't see. Your eyes is blind to see that this water has turned to be wine. It is no longer white, it's red. But to you, this water is still white. But according to the heavens, this water has turned to be red. It's a wine, it's no longer water. As he's carrying this water, now as he was standing right in front of the master of ceremony, look at the levels. This is a boy who cannot see. But the master of ceremonies level, it was something else. When he saw the water in his mind, all it was in his mind is the wine is finished. As they bring this thing, they are bringing wine. Listen to me today. You are going to receive according to what you see in the spirit. You are amount of what you are seeing. You are amount of what you are saying.
Amen.
You wonder why they are not promoting you in a working place. They cannot promote you. You are still a baby. You speak like a baby. If there's a problem in a company, you go around, you talk about it. You're still a baby. You don't need a promotion. You need to be very seated. Hallelujah. Bless the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. God is good. And all the time, He's a good God. You cannot be promoted to have a big family because you're immature. You can't handle your husband. How are you going to handle your children? You can't handle your wife. How are you going to handle additional problems? Immaturity. This young man is immature. He's moving with water. In his hand, he's saying, Jesus is going to be embarrassed here. He's going to be embarrassed. But the master of ceremony, when he took it, his eyes saw the water being a wine. And he came to test it. He tested it and he said, this is the best wine ever. Two people are standing in the same platform, but they don't see the same. The worst thing, somebody who has seen where this is coming from. Someone who went into the river to fetch the water does not have faith that this water can turn into wine. Someone who's been in a church for so many years does not have faith that things can change. And that's the reason why this person is speaking the same talk that he used to speak 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Amen. You don't see where we are going. You don't see where we are going. You don't see where this church is going. You don't understand the changes. You don't understand what God is doing in this house. You've been in this church for so many years, but you can't see where we are going. That's the reason why your talk is the same talk that you should talk 10 years ago. When the church started 16 years ago, you should talk like that. Even today, I'm talking like that. What do you see? Someone is saying, I'm seeing water. What do you see? And someone is saying, I'm seeing wine. And what do you see? see. You know, God want to do greater things in your life, but you have broken him. You are disturbing him. Because you have experience. My experience is, I know for wine to be wine, it must stay more than a month. I have experience. I know for the wine to be sweet, it must stay for more than 6 months. And God is saying, forget about it. Yes. Forget about your experience. Forget about what your past. Because I'm about to do a new thing to help in your life. There's something new that God wants to do in your life. But you're keeping God. You're saying, God, I want to live to 2015, 2010, 20. God is saying, in 2018, December, I want to do something new. Hallelujah. Bless the name of Jesus. And you're saying to God, God, if you want to do this, where are the ingredients? Because according to my understanding, there must be water here. According to my understanding, there must be potassium. According to my understanding, there must be calcium. And God is saying, I don't need your calcium. I don't need your potassium. And the only thing that I need is for you to fetch the same water that will turn into wine. Jesus. Hey! Bless the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. How am I going to progress? This is a question you're having. How am I going to make it? Because I failed last year. I failed year before last. Things they were better last in my life. How is going to change accidentally? The system is different. Hallelujah. That's the name of Jesus. God's system is different to your system. God's understanding is different to your understanding. Hey! Hey! Hallelujah. Bless the name of Jesus. I'm seeing wine. Yes. I'm seeing wine here. Yes. And someone saying we're seeing water. And someone saying we're seeing wine. What are some of the case? It's because we have ingredients. I know. Amen. For me to have wine, I know the system. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. What are you going to say to me? Yeah. We are not open to see God doing something new in our lives. Amen. Amen. We don't walk by faith, but we walk by sight. Right. According to my experience, according to my mother's experience, this is how we serve the Lord. And God is saying, I want to do something new. And you're saying, I don't want anything new in my life. All things are okay for me. That's the reason why we are poor in our country. We are suffering in our country. My God. Blessed be the name of Jesus. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Change has come. Child of fire. Child of fire, listen to me today. Change has come. Amen. Change has come. Amen. Child of fire, change has come. If you decide to stay and find change, how can you fail to do it? Because I speak what I'm hearing. I speak what I'm seeing. Amen. It's clear. Just practically. Because the Bible says, he's saying, I speak about the earthly thing. You don't understand. Yeah. I speak about spiritual things. You are not ready to accept. Okay. Amen. Amen. Brother Prince, how are you, sir? Some of you who were here, remember one day I said to him, I called him to stand here. You remember that? I said to him, in your working place, there's going to be a problem. There is a problem. And right now, I am going to pray for you because your job is not safe. You remember that? You remember when I called you? Your job is not safe. Something is coming ahead of you. Now look at this. 6 months period for the wine to be ready.
Oh, Jesus.
In the twinkle of an eye, the change of wine. In the twinkle of an eye, the change of wine. I want you to stretch your hands towards him. And we are going to end the promises. And we make it to the real.
Amen.
3 months he's been waiting. He's been told that he's employed. Up to now he has not started to work. And right now we are going to open doors for him to start to work.
Amen.
Blessed be the name of Jesus. Let's pray. Father, in the name of Jesus. I release him in the spirit. I release him physically with power and anointing of the Holy Spirit. His job is secured, and he's starting to work. As soon as when everybody is relaxing, when everybody is going out to relax, he is starting. I declare in the spirit, I declare physically in the mighty name of Jesus. I offload from you. I release you the spirit. I release you physically with power and anointing of the Holy Spirit. Father, I thank you and I want to glorify you for it is happening right now. In Jesus' name we pray. Thank you, Lord. Amen. 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 Now, this is the sequence and the system I'm going to use as in front of you.
Amen.
The now change.
Amen.
Yes.
Immediately.
Yes.
The God of now.
Yes.
The God of today.
Yes.
The God of change.
Yes.
That's the system we're going to use.
Yes.
That's the name of Jesus.
Amen.
He's not never to be late, but he's always on time.
Yes.
And I declare that which is impossible in life
Amen.
is turning to be possible. Blessed the name of Jesus. That you cannot do on your own. He's doing it for you.
Yes.
Blessed the name of Jesus. Change is coming upon you. I challenge you today, never ever fear anything. Never ever fear anything. Never ever fear anything in his life. Because he has released you. His glory is everlasting. And his favor is forever and ever. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Blessed be the name of Jesus. The peace of God is in this place.
Amen.
The favor of God is in this place.
Amen.
Amen. Are you here? You can come. As she's coming, I want to speak to just one person. Just one person. I said to you, don't make sure that you don't stay at home when we're having services. Don't stay at home. Never stay at home when we're having services. Because there's something great that God has in store for you. Now look at this shift. There's a shift in the atmosphere and a shift in the spirit. It's supposed to be somebody. It's supposed to be for somebody who is not here. And God is shifting it to somebody who is here.
Amen.
I understand what I'm saying. This, it was not for you.
Amen.
It was not meant for you.
Amen.
It is for somebody
Amen.
who is not here.
Amen.
There's someone who's not here.
Amen.
Somebody who is not here.
Amen.
This is for somebody who is not here. And because this person is not here, then there's a shift in the spirit.
Amen.
For someone who is here.
Amen.
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 Somebody is about to have this space.
Amen.
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 Blessed the name of Jesus. Always.
Amen.
Blessed the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Most of the name. Oh, bless you.
There's your brother. Auntie. There's your brother, you don't know this person.
Jesus.
But you don't know the person. Auntie.
Amen.
Auntie. I just want to show you something in common to show who he is, your brother, this person.
Amen.
I want both of you to come and stand here. I want to pray for you.
Amen. Yes, Lord.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you,
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Jesus.
Urembe zina lako. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Amen. Hallelujah. Urembe. Urembe zina.
Not you. I want somebody who is not familiar. Somebody who is not familiar. Somebody who is not familiar. Okay. Somebody is familiar. No problem. Tatana. Pastor said, no problem. No problem. What is his problem? It's after some weeks, he's been sitting down to understand what is he doing. You have a lot of questions to a point where you voice it out. And you are far away from the answer. Far away.
I'm here to confirm to you. This is the truth. There's a truth of Jesus Christ. I'm confirming this to you. It is a truth of Jesus Christ. It is an error. It is a time in the spirit. And I can explain it in writing for you to understand. There are 5 gifts of Jesus. There are 9 gifts of the Holy Spirit. But this is what he wanted all this time.
Yes.
This is the question that he had for some time to a point.
he had to ask even the wrong people. Now I'm answering him today, right in the presence of all people. There are 5 gifts of Jesus. There are 9 gifts of the Holy Spirit, and there is one that is common to both sides. The gift of Jesus is apostles, is prophets, is teachers, is pastors, is evangelists. And the gifts of the Holy Spirit is wisdom, is knowledge, is faith, miracle, prophecy. Let me just end there. There are other 5 remaining. But I want to single out something that is in common. Something that's in common that the gifts of Jesus and the gifts of the Holy Spirit is prophecy.
Amen.
It's prophecy. And proven in many ways. It's proven, this has been here for so many years. It's been written like that for so many years. And today God is going to use you as a voice to speak loud.
Oh, yes.
You will be with them but against them. Because this time the answer is clear. The gift of Jesus, prophets are there. The gift of the Holy Spirit, prophecy is there. It's a gift that Jesus has given. It is a gift that the Holy Spirit has given. We are living in a time of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
We are operating under the gifts of the Holy Spirit. I have answered it. I have answered you clear now. There is no one who will confuse you anymore. And that's the reason why it's like that.
Amen.
You understand? God is able to see what is happening in a single place, bring it in public.
Amen.
Amen. Now, this was not for you. But now it's coming to you because you are here and you came there. You were late. The change is coming. Now, man, I want to look at me. There are 2 things that is happening here that I'm seeing proof that God wants to change right now, today, in this place.
Amen.
2 things. And He's going to do it. Number 1, I'm talking to you. You don't trust yourself, and God wants to bring that trust to you. And number 2, you don't trust your husband, and God is bringing trust. He's bringing trust to him, and the same trust will overflow to you. Bless the name of Jesus. It is happening in many ways. Business-wise, there's a problem in you. You don't trust yourself. And God wants to install trust in you. And family-wise, you don't trust your husband. And God wants to bring back the trust. And this trust is not starting this side, it's starting this side. It's being trust that is direct to you, flowing to her. And she's going to speak what you will see God doing in you. This was not for you.
That's very true.
But it's coming to you.
Amen.
Bless the Lord. Amen and amen. Woman, as I'm standing here from today, I'm instructing you in the spirit, not physically,
Amen.
to trust your husband.
Amen.
I'm standing here as a mouthpiece of God.
Amen.
Trust your husband. Husband, as in from today, you trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust yourself in darkness. Trust yourself in daylight. Wherever you're going to be, trust yourself. You can. You have powers. You are able. You can. So it shall be.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
God is good. And all the time. Now, we're going to pray right now. I'm answering you right now. He is the right person in your life. It's not a mistake. There's a question that we had for a long time. Now I'm answering you. He is the right person in your life. It's not a mistake. Listen to me. Don't shift. Don't shift.
Amen.
You see, this word is coming the right time. Don't shift. Don't move. Don't move. You're not aware. She was moving out of it. She was moving out of the way.
That's true.
She was going out of the way. One morning, we were going to stand up. And listen, there's a right time. Don't move. Because change has come from him. I want you to write everything in your mind. Right now, as I'm standing here, I'm reading what is in your mind. I want you to write everything out. The thing that can make you not to progress isn't from here. That it has been holding you for a long time. I want you to wipe it up. I can see one by one. I can read it right now. I can read it loud even to you and to him and to all people who are here. I can read it. I can just see it in your mind right now. But listen to me. All those things, I want you to wipe it out. And I'm standing here to declare it will never happen again.
Amen.
Never again. And this is what you wanted all this time. You've been praying for this, and God is hearing your prayers, and that's the reason why it's like this. This one with you. This one with you. I want us to stretch our hands towards Him.
Thank you, Jesus.
I want us to stretch our hands towards Him.
Thank you, Father. Oh, God.
Things that you cannot do on your own, God is able to do
Oh,
it for
yes,
you.
Lord.
And today, He's stepping forward to do
Thank
it
you,
for you.
Jesus.
He will do it for you.
You are answering.
Do it for you. I see the spirit of bondage in you. The devil has been binding you not to move forward.
Thank you, Jesus.
In every area of your life, you've been stuck. You've been stuck. And God is releasing you right now. Yes, releasing you. Let's put our hands. Father, in the name of Jesus, I thank you for the openness of the hearts and the minds that are standing here, Lord. This truth they cannot hide before you. We cannot hide before you. We are always exposed. We are always exposed. We are always visible to you. And I release the favor and the fire of the Holy Ghost upon them right now. In the mighty name of Jesus. I release the blood of Jesus. I release the favor of the Holy Ghost. In the mighty name of Jesus. Blood 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 of Jesus. In the mighty name of Jesus. I separate you from your father's generation.
Oh, yes, Lord.
I separate you from your forefathers' generation. In the mighty name of Jesus. In you I build a new generation. In you I build a new life. All together. In the mighty name of Jesus. You will never be identified to your people.
In Jesus' name.
And peace be still.
Yes, Lord.
In the mighty name of Jesus. Father, thank you.
Thank you.
And I honor you.
Thank you.
I glorify you. I give you the praise and adoration. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. This one.
Thank you, Jesus.
As in from now, you won't just come to church, it's coming to church. Because something great is happening tonight.
Oh, yes.
Bless you. Bless you.
Come on, somebody, give God a big praise. Can we just stand on our feet and we pray for instant miracle in our lives? Let us stand on our feet and say, it's December today, the last month of 2018. But I hear God who doesn't use processes. I hear God who does not need ingredients. For my miracle, He can do it right now in the name of Jesus. Every witchcraft that has closed your eyes to see a miracle, every witchcraft that has closed your ears to see a miracle, I want you right now open your mouth and fight back in the name of Jesus and say, that instant, God, I need a miracle. I need a miracle. Let's turn around, God, I need a miracle.